Okay, yeah, recording started. Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone, for attending this today's session on live demonstration of 19 CGI upgrade. Uh, I'm not going to cover much on the theoretical side because as I already mentioned, this is going to be live demonstration, which is going to be a lengthier process. It will take more than what we planned. I have not prepared any slides, but I'll just quickly cover which are few of the things what I know, which are especially for when you are dealing with grid upgrades. One of the best practices always, always you try to get up appropriate downtime, appropriate window, because no guarantee that grid upgrade is going to be successful. I'll just put down the point. I'll just put on the point because what happens. The database upgrade and the grid upgrades are slightly challenging. Why? I'll tell you. When you are dealing with a DB upgrade, there's a particular the GRP, the guarantee restore point you are going to create on the database side, and you're going to upgrade. You're going to start your database upgrade from 11G to 12C or 12C to 19C, whatever it is. In case if the database upgrade fails, and then you will not be able to fix it, definitely you will directly go back to the grp point, and then you will start your database. So it's just a final the quick option. You can easily start, you can easily roll it back your database to the old point when you started your database upgrade. Whereas when it comes to the gi upgrade, there is no concept called grp, no guarantee restore point. Once you start your grid upgrade, you have to proceed further and you have to fix the issue. If you hit any issue and if it fails, you have to fix it and you have to complete your upgrade. And if it is not able to fix the issue, and then you have to roll it back. There is no concept called grp, or you will just shut down and you will not be able to start your data your grid to the point where you started. So either you have to upgrade or either you have to roll it back. Root upgrade .sh or root downgrade .sh. These are the only two options. Either you can proceed further or you can roll it back. So only two are the options. So thinking in that, you have to get a proper downtime and you have to start your J upgrade during the half business hours, because a lot of cases there might be chances you may hit into some network issue or bug, whatever it is, right? So as if you see, if your cluster is having 8 nodes and then 4 nodes you have successfully upgraded, and then fifth node failed. 4 node J upgrade is completed and the fifth node it failed. So then there is no point you can directly start your GI from the old 11G or 12C version. You have to again roll back all the 4 node which you have upgraded. You have to run root downgrade.sh and all the 4 nodes. So to avoid all those uncertain situation and all, so you have to take a proper downtime and take it in off business hours. That's one of the best recommendation. And the second best recommendation is always try to patch your GI home to the latest patch. For example, your GI is in assuming that October, or I can say Jan 2020 patch, PSU or CPU or whatever it is. If your GI is in 2020, it is, I'm talking about 12C. 12 to GI home is in Jan 2020, and then now you are planning to upgrade your GI to 19C, and then 19C, whatever the latest patch, Jan 2021. So you are going to upgrade it to Jan 2021. So one of the best recommendation is always apply Jan 2021 PSU or the CPU, whatever the latest patch available on the 12C, you apply the patch over there and then start your J upgrade, so that your 12C GI will include all the bug fixes and your upgrade is going to be very smooth. These are the two best recommendation I'm going to follow anytime when I do the GI upgrade. And starting with this 19C or 12C, there is a uh, dry run. There's a dry run. You can perform it. So many of my friends or colleagues always they use the dry run before they upgrading any GI. But I, I personally don't do that dry run, because I'll make sure that all my pre-checks are perfect before I start the GI upgrade. But dry run is one of the best option. You can do it. It actually perform all the activities what all it is going to do during the actual GI upgrade. It will unzip the binaries, it will copy the binaries, and it will ask you to run the root upgrade.sh. And but nothing everything but nothing is reality, so everything is it will do at the back end virtually. So it's a kind of real exercise. You'll get it, and then that will list out the whether it's going to be successful or fail. Whatever the result, it will display at the end of the dry run. So you always perform the dry run, so then make sure that your J upgrade is perfect. And one more, the issue from the dry run is I have seen it, the people who has done the dry run, and then later they have to do some cleanups, and then if you don't do the cleanup like under temporary and some socket files, and then some of them catch-up files, so the during the actual GA upgrade, that may lead into some of the issues. Your actual upgrade may fail because of the dry run. Some of the socket files and all those will be still resides under temp files, and you may face that, but not I can say like hardly 1 or 2%. But dry run is one of the best recommendation. You can always make use of that. These are the like, few of the recommendations always you have to keep in mind before you start with the GI upgrade. So then let's go to the my environment. So as I said, like I have a 2 node cluster. This is what happened, like, okay, let me connect it back. This is the node 1, and PSM1 running here. I'll open that Oracle Mouse document. Give me a second. Again, as I said, like, since this is the lab environment, I'll be having a lot of issues while some network issues. Okay, let's open the Mouse document, what I'm talking about. Okay, before that, I will bring you to the what I have done. This 12C lab I have built up today, and then okay, this is my lab environment. You can see the public IPs and the private IPs and VIPs and scan IPs. And then when I did a 19C run Clafe, we'll do it one more time now. So when I did a 19C, binary is already downloaded. And I believe already, I have taken one session about 12C to 19C upgrade, how I went through my upgrade plan. I hope everyone has this upgrade plan. I already shared in our Telegram group. So I'm going to follow the same run block. When I ran the run cluffer.sh, and then the stage hyphen pre CRS install, and it's going to be upgrade in a rolling mode, and the source Oracle home, the source GI home, and the destination GI home, and the destination target version, and fix up. The moment I did so, it has done a lot of checks, and at the end it gave me this particular error message. I'll show you that what error message. So that the GI pre-check is failed with these two checks. You can see, right? One is it was expecting this patch to be available on 12C home, and this one patch. These are the two patch it was expecting on both the nodes, node 1, so node 2 and node 1. On both the node, it was expecting this patch should be available, and this one patch should be available on the node, both the nodes. And the other one is ACFS drivers, and the third fail is NTF, this NTP. So I'll safely ignore NTP because I'll not use NTP, and ACFS driver also I will safely ignore because I'm not using ACFS driver. And why these two patch, it failed, because as I said, this is the new lab environment I just built up today. I just built up 12C, the lab, and if you see LS patches on that 12C grid home, there are no interim patch at all, right? So there are no interim patch at all. At least your 12C Oracle home should have one of the PSU patch level, either it may be Jan, April, or October, or whatever patch, whatever, like 2020 or 2019, whatever the patch, at least one patch level should be applied on your 12C grid home. So I just installed 12C grid. I have not applied any patch. Due to that, it is giving me recommendation. These are the two bug fixes you have to apply in order to proceed with your GI upgrade. So what I did, I just downloaded the latest patch. This is the latest patch, 12C 2021, the PSU patch. I just applied 12C this PSU patch on both the nodes, node 1 and node 2. You can see, right? This just now, like around 30 minutes back, I applied that. So that's what, like, right? This is one of the recommendation. The best recommendation is always try to apply a latest available patch on your 12C home before you proceed with your GI upgrade. So that is one of the best recommendation I can suggest, because you already seen here. I don't had any patch on my 12C grid home, and then it throwed this particular error message. And then if you see here, this particular node 1, I just lost this particular session. I wanted to show you that what I did. Okay, I have this output. That's good. We'll go through that what I did so far. If we anyway we have seen, right, last demo session, when we're dealing with 19C GI upgrade patching, we GI patching, right? So we ran this root CR that pre-patch. It will shut down your clusterware and it will stop, and then it will give you this particular message, right? Shut down your TFA, and then your grid home is unlocked. And then after that, you will do your all the conflict checks and all the systems pre-check, and then everything you can see, right? It is successful here. And then I applied all those the January 2021 patch. So I applied January 2021 patch on my node 1. If you see there, this is the output. And then after I successfully apply all the 5 patches, and then I did the LS patches, I can see all these 5 patches are applied. So this is what I did so far. And then I did the root post patch on node 1, and then it started my all the cluster services. And if you see here 12C, what happens when you do the post patch, if you closely observe here, this particular connecting to database, and then it is started with the SQL patch, the data patch. Why it is running data patch and which database it is running data patch? If you observe, 12C comes with our management database, right? MGMT database. So when you apply the patch and run the post patch, so if you see in your MGMT database is running from your grid home, not from the Oracle home. As I already covered in my previous session, when you apply the particular PSU or CPU patch on your Oracle home, and you have to run the data patch at your database level. Whereas when it comes to the MGMT management database, when you apply the patch on your grid home, and when you run the post patch command, that post patch command, it will start your clusterware, and also it will start your grid MGMT database, and then it will connect to MGMT database and it will run the SQL patch. You see, right? These are the patches it listed out here. This is the patch, and it applied at my MGMT database. You can see, right? This PDB, all this MGMT database. You can see all these logs. These are the, like, all the 3 patches it applied at my MGMT database level. So this is one of the the different output you usually see it when you see the post patch. You will not see, you are not supposed to expect this output, but if you see, right, when I ran the post patch, it started my clusterware, and also it started my MGMT database, and inside my MGMT database it applied those patches whatever I applied on the grid home. So that's what it talks about here. So the node 1 patching got completed, and then I went to node 2, and then I'll just go back. Okay, so I ran the pre-patch command on the node 2. So it brought down my clusterware, successfully shut down clusterware and unlocked my grid home. And then I did all the pre-checks again and latest OPH and all those. And then I directly applied all those 5 patches. You can see that bunch of command, I ran it in one shot. And then it applied all the patches. You can see this output here. It applied applying patches on this node 2, only on the grid home. I'm doing on the grid home now. So, and then it completed here. It completed all the patching, and then I did the LS patches. You can see this particular output, right? All the 5 patches are applied here. And then I did the root add, and then root share dot post patch. If you see here root share dot post patch here, you don't see that particular output. When I ran in the node 1, you seen this particular the data patch ran for the MGMT database, and on the node 2, I did not get that data patch apply command, because the data patch can be run on any one of the node. You are not supposed to run on all the nodes, because you have to run on any one instance, and automatically it will apply at the database level, right? And then if you see here this, but if you observe this particular line, right? So clusterware active version is 12c 12201, and the clusterware upgrade state is in rolling mode. Once the moment you do the node 1 patching, your cluster become rolling upgrade mode, and the patch level still it will be 0 when you complete your patching on all the nodes. And then you will see this particular message here. When I ran the last node, this is the second node in my cluster, Oracle cluster where active version is again 12c 12201, and the cluster upgrade state is become normal. When you run the second node patching, when you complete your second node patching, your cluster will become normal mode, and your cluster where patch level is become, so whatever the Jan 2021 patch you apply, right? So that patch it become. So now your cluster is in normal mode. You are ready to go ahead with your grid upgrade. Any questions so far? These are the like pre-checks I just completed. And then now we'll start with the actual grid upgrade. So what I'll do, I will just connect to Oracle Node 1 plus ASM. .inv. Any questions so far? So if not, then I will proceed further. Plus ASM1, and I'll set up my grid home. Okay, now we will do the same whatever I showed you, right? Same run Cluffy pre-check. We will run it again. Say I'll run the same command, and this time I should not get any error message particular to the patch or the uh, the patch especially. So network related, as I said, like those are like can be ignored, since this is my lab environment. So I already covered this one in my previous topic from 12c to 19c. It again stands for 12.1 or 12.2, whatever it is. It's a generic patch plan. You can refer it. And then I already created this directory and already unzipped. So I'll just show that as well. What is rolling patch? What is rolling patch? Okay, good question. I'll explain that. What is rolling patch? MS Paint. Okay, so this is my clusterware, and I have this node 1 and I have this node 2. So what happens? I have installed my binaries GI home, and then I have installed my GI home. So what happens when you want to this GI home is patched, and this is at currently October 2020 patch level. So and then this home also on node 2 also it is on October 2020. So what happens, even though these two nodes are my same cluster nodes and it has its own binaries and it has its own binaries on these nodes, but when it comes to the cluster wide, when it comes to the cluster wide, then both the nodes are part of same cluster. So in the cluster, I should be having only one the patch level, either this one or this one. I will be like having October 2020. So this is my cluster patch level. So what happens now, if you want to patch this particular node, if you want to patch this particular node to Jan 2020. So now this particular node become Jan 2020 patch level, and this particular node is still in October 2020 patch level. So in order to, if this the patch level is mismatch, and then your cluster service will not come up. Either of this node or either of this node. If you consider my cluster patch level is October 2020, so you will be able to bring up services only from node 2. Since you patched node 1 to Jan 2020, your clusterware is in still old version, you will not be able to bring up any cluster services, any ASM, scan, VIPs. These services will not come up here if you patch it. So in order to avoid that, Oracle will internally makes my cluster as a rolling upgrade mode or rolling mode, rolling upgrade mode. Rolling upgrade mode means even though node 1 is Jan 2020 and node 2 is October 2020, even though there is a mismatch in my patch level, and at the cluster I will be having old patch level, I will allow this particular node to bring up all the services. That is what the meaning of rolling patch. So without rolling patch, you will not be able to bring up your services on this node in case of there is a mismatch in the patch level. And then automatically when you run the post patch here, this node entire cluster is become rolling upgrade mode, and you will be able to bring up services on this node. And then when you patch this particular node 2 to Jan 2021, and then when you run the post patch on this node, automatically it'll apply that Jan, it'll register Jan 2021 patch level at my cluster node. And then cluster will check on node 1 again Jan 2020, and node, okay, it's Jan 2020, sorry guys. So node 1 is Jan 2021 and node 2 also Jan 2021, and my cluster will be registered with Jan 2021, and then my cluster become normal state. When you run the post patch and the node 2, my cluster become normal mode. It will roll back my rolling upgrade mode or rolling patch mode, and it become normal mode, right? So that's about okay, what happens here? Pre-patch. Okay, one more query, Ajaj. How we can upgrade or apply the patch with a grid user as well as don't have a root access? No, the root access is mandatory. I think I already covered in my the patching session, right? When you are running the stop GI home, always CRCTL stop CRS, you have to run with the root user. And when you're running this pre-patch command, it needs a root user, and only the apply patch command should be run as a root user. So the root user is mandatory when you are dealing with patching, when you're applying the patching on 19C or whatever it is. Root user is mandatory. So only for running a root script, we require root user. Okay, this is Subramanya has answered. Yeah. So obviously that's the answer. So you need to have a root user. Otherwise, it's very hard. You have to do a lot of background work. Otherwise, a lot of things without root user also you can do it, but that is not recommended. Right. So next I'll proceed further. Okay, what happened? This I ran now. I'll just go up all the way. Okay, so this is a command we ran, right? Run Cluffy, and then this is source home and this is a target home, and then it will do all the physical memory check and all the network connectivity. You can just go through all this. I'll share all these logs in our Telegram group, and directly you can, rather than going through all, you can only filter it by fail checks. You can see SFS driver fail check, NTP fail check. You can ignore SFS because I'm not using NTP. You can ignore. Rather than going through again, at the end it will give you the summary. You can see, right? This is a summary. The failure were encountered during execution, and then one first failure is about ACFS driver, so I can ignore that. And then the second failure is about NTP. I can ignore that because I'm not using NTP. And the third uh, third failure is about this particular network. So this network I'm not using it. So it is again, as I said, this is my lab environment. So this network can be ignorable. So with that, we are done with our run Cluffy pre-check. This is going to be one of the critical the check you have to make sure uh, this particular all the error message should be fixed, and you should get a run Cluffy pre-check is successful message. Then only proceed with the grid upgrade. Otherwise, don't ever proceed with a grid upgrade if you're seeing any of the fail checks or warnings. So Sagar is asking which precaution need to take care of time zone file while upgrading. No, time zone file again, Sagar. This is precisely I'm talking about the GI upgrade. I am not talking about the database upgrade. You have to think of time zone when it comes to the database upgrade. So when it comes to the GI upgrade, don't worry about the time zone. You can go ahead and do the upgrade. So now let me start my GUI session, and then we'll start the grid upgrade now. I'll just stop sharing screen for 2 seconds. I will stop it here. Okay, so I hope you guys can able to see my screen again. So let me log in here. So let's see what we did so far. I have installed 19C binaries. Let me show you that. 19C binaries means I did a unzip. You can see U01 app. Just to avoid the time concern, so I just did here 19C grid. I just unzipped my software here 19C. Whereas in Node 2, where is my Node 2? I'll put Node 1 here, and Node 2 is here. So if I go to Node 2 U01 app 19C grid. So in Node 2, I no need to do any unzip and all. So if I do it on Node 1, that is more than enough. Node 2, where is Node 1? Okay, Node 1 is here. Okay, Node 2 is here. Okay, Node 2, if you see, I don't have the grid binaries. Only on the Node 1, I downloaded the binaries. And then now what I'll do, again, as I said, like again, I'll go back to Paint. So now what you did in your cluster where, I'll just explain so that you know that will make sense. So now you have, this is your cluster where, and currently you have this Node 1 and Node 2, and Node 1 is your uh, 12 to Jan 20. I just applied Jan 2021 as I said, as I showed you, right? So this is Node 1 and this is Node 2. Both are at Jan, and also my cluster level is cluster patch level is at Jan 2021. So what I did now, I installed my 19C binaries here. I'll just make a note here, Jan or else 19C GI software. I just unzipped here under U01 app 19C and grid. So this is what I did here on Node 1. Node 1, I just unzipped binaries here. And what I'll do, I will do, I will replace, I will apply OPatch, latest OPatch I'll apply. And then once I apply latest OPatch here, what I'll do, I'm gonna run grid upgrade or grid setup.sh, and then I'll mention apply or you, and then the Jan 2021 PSU. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run grid setup.sh apply RU Jan 2021 PSU. This Jan 2021 PSU for 19C already 21. This 12C is already having Jan 2021. I applied it manually on both nodes. So what I'm doing on only node 1. 19C binaries I already unzipped here, and then I'm going to apply the latest OPatch on the 19C GI home. And then on top of that, while running the grid setup.sh, I'm going to use apply RU Jan 2021 PSU, that is a 19C PSU. What it will do, it will apply the PSU on this 19C Oracle home on node 1 first, and after applying a 19C PSU on node 1, it will copy it to the node 2. So that's what I'm going to do it here. So if you can see my screen, this is the 19C binaries I already unzipped here, as I told, and then I have my patches downloaded here. This is OPatch, and then what I'll do, I'll just move. This is the 12C OPatch. I'm just going to move it as a 12C, and then I have this 19C OPatch here. So I'm going to unzip as a Oracle user, or I can do it as a root user, no issues. Unzip. This is the latest OPatch. I'm going to unzip. Any questions so far? So now the OPatch is ready here. And then on the 19C OPatch, I will just move that one. CD U01 app 19C and grid. So what I'll do, this is my 19C unzipped the grid software. I'm going to move whatever the OPatch to OPatch old. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to do CP-R, or else I'll go back here. I'll go here and OPatch. So this is my 19C OPatch. So I'm just moving to move under my grid home, CP-R OPatch, and I'll move inside my 19C. So OPatch is done. So then I'll go back here, and then what I'll do, I will just change the ownership, chown-r Oracle, and then OPatch. Done. So if I go inside OPatch, and if you can see version, if I do cat of that, it will be your latest version 12.2.01.24. This is the latest OPatch. I did it here. That's what I told you, right? One of the best recommendation is when you're dealing with your GI upgrade, either you have to go roll forward or you have to roll it back. So there is no way like how your GRP works, right? Your GRP, you can stop everything in the middle, and you can start your database, and you can alter database, and to the guarantee restore point you can do it. But when you done the 4 node cluster, when you done the root upgrade on 4 node and fifth node fails, and there is no way you can fix that issue, and Oracle also is taking a lot of time to fix it, and you're running out of your business down maintenance window. So you have to run the root downgrade.sh on all the 4 node which you upgraded, and you have to start your cluster where with the 12c. So again, if you see this particular patch plan, and at the end, at the bottom, you can see those downgrade steps. I'll show you that MOS document also. Let's continue right now. So your latest patch I downloaded. I'm doing it only on the node 1. Think of, because I'm not touching anything on the node 2, because once I completely patch node 1, automatically it will do the remote copy on the node 2. I no need to worry about node 2 now. So copy is done. So now I'll go back, and I'll go to user on patches, and I'll go to PSU, and this is my latest PSU. This is a 19C PSU ending with the 239. This is the PSU, and our run Cluffy pre-check also successful. So we have done this one. A new binaries, new directory I created, and I given a proper permission. I already unzipped new software here, and we did just now run Cluffy pre-checks, and now we'll do this particular checks particular to ASM. So now I'll run this one dot .env plus ASM, and then where is my grid home? This is grid home. Okay, so I'll just follow. Oh, sorry, cat etc var tab. We are still in old dot .env plus ASM, and this is my grid home. Okay, now I will strictly follow this particular plan, ASM config, and make sure that your password file is under your ASM disk group. You can see password file is under my data disk group, and then encryption, you can check any ACFS mount point. You can check it out. I don't have any ACFS mount point, and then I'll connect, and then I will run this one dump. If you want, it will last 72 hours, whatever your cluster will state, it will dump into this one. In case of it fails, you can always refer that dump file and how it was cluster health check and all those. So I'll just I don't have this directory, it will fail, so I will just make it. I'll remove this one. So this is just I'm taking a P file backup. Okay, P file is created. Now we can go back, and you can check your SGA target. You can see now it is 1 GB. So I will just make it to 3 GB. Okay, done. So now you can verify this one, and nothing is set, because since it's a lab environment, this is precisely talks about when you're dealing with your production, your large pages should, if it is set, it should be true, and memory target should be 0. And then right now I don't have a large pages, so I'm going to set only memory target. I'm not going to set my large pages, because I don't have the large pages. So large pages equal to true, I will not set it. And then again, memory max target, you can set these two. Large pages, you can ignore it. When you are dealing with your Exadata or like production environment, if you are using large pages, you can set that. So after that, you can check your any ASM rebalance operation, very important. So right now, no rebalance operation, and proceed further. And when you're dealing with, precisely this is for Exadata, and you have to disable this diag snap. So this is not Exadata box, so I'll just ignore it. And this OpenStack security limit, you have to make sure that 10.24.0, it's already set for me in my case. Sorry, so I'll just exit. So 10.24.0, so that's a minimum. So we have to set, and OPH already, just now we replaced the latest OPH. And again, if you can cat this version, we'll see what this is the latest OPH. And then now we'll start the actual grid upgrade. So I'll go back and then I will form the command. Okay, I'll just log into this. Okay, so now I need to run this one. So I'm not going to apply any one up. So I'm going to apply the bundle patch. So I'll just open my this one because I don't want to set the GUI. I'll directly connect here, which has a default GUI. I'll just open my terminal. So again, GUI setup is again one more big task. So you have to make sure that as a part of your pre-checks, you can do that unset Oracle. Your GUI should be your GUI verification and all. You have to do it as part of pre-check. Unset Oracle SID Oracle underscore home Oracle underscore base. You have to do unset, and then you can start with your grid setup. That grid setup should be under your 19c grid home, and then if you do ll star.sh, that is a shell script. You can see grid setup.sh, and then you can pass that particular one-off directory cd u01 patches and psu. And if I do lsfnltr 19c, this is a January patch ending with 239. So I'm just going to pass that one. I'll go back to the old 19c directory, grid setup.sh, grid setup.sh, and the command is going to be uh, hyphen apply ru, hyphen apply ru, and then your patch location. And the patch ending with, this is the patch number. I'm just going to paste it here. So what it will do, if you closely observe what happened, what is the wrong in the command typo, apply ru hyphen apply apply. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, yeah, thank you. So the grid home is under Oracle. Yeah. So as a lab, I always used to prefer keeping my grid home and Oracle home as a owner as a Oracle. So for the ease of management, for the when it comes to the security and then auditing perspective, so it's better to have a separate grid for grid owner and Oracle as a Oracle user. Better, it's one of the best recommendation or best practice. You have to have the two separate users. But for lab exercise and working with the lab, so you can go with the Oracle user because it's easy to manage. So no need to switch between here and there. What would be the failback plan? Sagar, I already answered for that question. Okay, so preparing Oracle, preparing your grid home. So you can see, right, this is very, very important, right? So it has taken this particular Jan 2021 PSU patch, and then it'll apply on the grid home on your node one, which you ran this one, it'll apply. So when it comes to the, what I'll do to avoid the downtime, uh, as part of the pre-check, right, like 2 days or 3 days before that maintenance or the actual upgrade window, I will run this particular command for any of the customer when I'm dealing with. I'll run this particular command. What it will do, it'll apply the patch, and the OPatch is already installed. You have downloaded and you have installed the latest OPatch, and it'll apply the patch on the node one, and it'll launch your GUI screen. When it launches the GUI screen, I'll just close the GUI screen, and then that I'll make sure that whatever the patch timing, right, it will take hardly around 10 minutes or 20 minutes to apply the patch. That downtime I can avoid it during the window. So when it comes to the actual upgrade window, I'll come back. I'll again run the root grid setup.sh. I will not apply this particular patch because that already applied as part of the pre-check. So I'll show you like how it works. So that I can minimize the downtime when I'll minimize the patching window when it comes to the actual patching time. So there's no hard rule there. The moment it launch your GUI screen, you can just close it. So you can stop the further steps. So any questions so far? So far it's all straightforward. So I'll just open the mass document. Okay, so I think you are able to see my screen, right? So this is a patch. I already showed you Jan 2021. So just before this, when I was doing the 12C lab setup, so I just went to 12.2 section. I downloaded this particular patch. You can see the color change here. I downloaded this patch and applied on both the nodes. And for now 19C, I downloaded this patch, this particular patch, and then I'm applying that patch now. If you see here, this is the patch. It's applying now. And then other thing what I wanted to show you here. It is like many time, like many of you folk like asked how to check how certificate matrix, right? I checked for 12201. So I'll go back and I'll show you. Give me a second. I'll just log in here and I'll. Okay, so this is the login window. So you have to go to certifications, and then you can search for whatever database, right? Like I'll search for database, Oracle database, and I'll go with whatever release. So if I suppose I want to check for 12C, and then I can go for 12C, and then what happened to this window? Just go back here. Okay. So then I will hit this search button, and then I'll get it. This 12C is certified with Linux. You have to come back to Linux x86. It is supported with 7 versions. What are those 7 versions? You can check it out here. Red Hat, it's supported with Red Hat 7 and Red Hat 6. Red Hat 7, Red Hat 6, Oracle 7, Oracle 6, and then these are like other OSs. And come to Windows, Windows 8.1, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows 2016, 2012 R2. These are like supported versions, OS versions. And then if I go back and if I search for 19C, I'll just select that particular version. I'll remove this, and then I'll search for 19.5 or 19.0, whatever version you can search it. And then see here, if you come to Linux x86, it is supported with the 6 versions, 6 flavors. What are those? Like Slice and Red Hat 8 and Red Hat 7 and Oracle Linux 8 and Oracle Linux 7. If you are using Oracle Linux 6, and you will not be able to install your 19C software. Right now, in my case, I'm using Oracle Linux 7, so it's supported for both 12C and then 19C. So we're good to proceed with our upgrade. So you can see, right, this upgrade process is a little lengthier process, so it is still applying. Where is that patch? I'll go and fetch the log file. User on app, Oracle CFG tool logs, date. Okay, so it has not given any log file yet. So let's wait for a few more minutes. Yeah, any questions so far? And if I go back to my pre-checks, and I'll tell you one of the reason for this particular fail. Go back. See this particular failed, right? Where is that fail check? ACFS driver. Verify ACFS driver check failed. Oracle ACFS driver is not supported on the current operating system for the version 19.0.0. So when you download your 19C binaries, it will be of 19.3. That is a base release. So with the base release, you will not be able to check ACFS compatibility or ACFS is available or not. So in order to avoid this particular check, you need to apply the latest patch now. What we are doing here, this particular patch. After applying this patch, and again you run this run cluff pre-check, and this particular check is going to pass. So this is one of the minimum recommended version is your cluster where 19C should be 19.6. This is the minimum version should be supported when you want to check your SFS drivers. So that is why when we download 19C grid, it was a base release 19.0, 19.3. That is why it failed here. Okay, I think we got the window now. You can see, right? I'll minimize this one. I'll show you that. You can see, right? Successfully applied the patch, and this is a log file. You can see what it has done, all the patches, whatever the this 19C 2021 Jan PSU, it applied on this 19C grid home, and this is a log file it launched, and now it launched my grid setup here. So now what I'll do, I'll close this screen when I'm doing part of the pre-check any of the customer, to just to make sure that I'm all set for the patching window. I'll just close it and then I'll go back, and then when patching window comes, I'll come back and then I'll just run the grid setup.sh. I no need to apply this particular patch. Almost it took around 15 minutes, so I can save that much of patching window. Right, so while installing 19C binaries, database is also not installed. While installing 19C binaries got installed. While installing 19C binary database, no, it is only I'm talking about the grid binaries. I have not downloaded any database binaries. Grid software is separate, database software is separate. So I just talking about database, sorry, grid software. So then I applied. Okay, if you're talking about the patch, that's correct. When you download this particular patch, what is that patch? Where is that? Let me open here. I already explained in my previous session also, right? Where is that? Here? No. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Give me a second. When you download your grid patch, obviously your this one also will get download. When you download this particular GI patch, it will include your database patch and the GI patch. So no need to separately download your DB patch. Okay, so next, these are the three options. You can set up software only, upgrade Oracle Grid Infrastructure. I'm interested on this one because we are going to do upgradation from 12C to 19C. And then if it is a new cluster installation, you are doing planning it, you can go with this. And if you're going with a standalone or restart service, you can go with this one. Now I'll go with this third option. Is there any option to decrease the grid time upgrade or the DB upgrade? No, that's what. When it comes to the DB upgrade, you have to make sure that all the invalid object, all the component, all those running util-rp and compiling all those objects and all, you have to take care as part of your pre-patch activities, so that you can avoid the patching window or the upgradation window. When it comes to the database grid upgrade, it's a straightforward. You cannot minimize the window what it takes, and whatever I explained so far, like applying the latest patch, applying the latest patch, everything you can do it as part of the pre-check. Right, so this is a 2 node by default selected. I'll go ahead with that. Okay, let it go. So let's start. I will explain one more thing. What happens, right? If you don't follow this particular step, right, what happens? It applied the latest patch and applied the latest January 2021 patch. And when you do this particular grid setup now, your grid 19C grid will be ready with the Jan 2021 patch. Suppose if you have not done this particular step, assuming that you have not done this particular step, and you install your 19C binaries, you install 19C binaries here. It is 19C GI home now, and again here also it become 19C GI home. You already upgraded to 19C GI home. So now what happens? You want to apply the January patch. For that, again, you have to shut down this particular node. You have to run the pre-patch step. You have to run the OPatch step. You have to apply all the apply patch command, and you have to bring it up this particular node. And then once this node is up, again you need to come to node 2, and again you need to run the pre-patch command, grid pre-patch command. You have to shut down your cluster, and you have to apply the patch, and you have to bring it up the cluster. That is again going to be hell out of time, right? So avoid that. This is one of the best recommendation. You can 12c, this 19c binaries is nothing is running, it directly apply, and then you can directly apply your 12c GI home to 19c GI home with Jan 2021 patch on both the node, because you applied on node 1 already. When it copy remotely to the node 2, it will copy 19c binaries plus this Jan 2021 patch. Both together, it will copy to the both the nodes. And when you run the root upgrade.sh, your 19c GI home will be ready, and your Jan 2021 patch also will be applied on both the nodes. Like these are like best recommendation. You can minimize the upgrade time. So I'll just go with the default options, because nothing we are going to change here. We are going to keep everything Oracle based, everything as it is. You can see software location, your 19c GI home. Webinar and Exadata, definitely I can make it out, but lab demonstration is very difficult. The theoretical part or the explanation I can take it up, but when it comes to the real time hands on, definitely I'll check it out. Any lab or anything if I found out, I will take one live session on that. So any questions so far? So if I go back to my run book, so we are at this point now, and then it applied the bundle patch, so or the PSU patch, and now we selected this upgrade grid infrastructure, and then language, no need to select, it has taken default, and all both the nodes are selected in my screen, uh, and then we are at this step now. So management repository, and now we'll go to further what happens. So doing all the checks. So if you want to do it, like if you want to, once it starts, we will check it here. So we'll take this particular log under grid home or inventory, and then we'll monitor that log. Because one of the best practice also, when the moment you start any patching or any upgradation or whatever it is, you have always try to follow that particular log file, so that will give you more information. So it's going to be user on app. Okay, this is about your grid setup, what we did, or inventory logs and grid setup, or inventory user on app, or inventory logs, and this is a grid setup date. You can see right 2026 and 2026, and this is the out file and this is the log file. You can tell that one whatever happening, it will give you a more detailed instruction what it is happening. You can see a lot of checks it will do at the back end. Okay, see these are the voting disk. You can see it here also, and you can see it here also. And also when the pre-check completed, and the moment you click install, proceed further, it'll make your node 1 19c binaries active, and it'll ask you, and it'll copy it to the node 2, and then it'll ask you to run the root upgrade.sh. The moment you run the root upgrade.sh on both the nodes, that is where your 90% of job is done. After that, your GUI screen goes away, or if you lose this session, or if it fails after the root upgrade.sh, no worry at all. So there are a lot of manual steps. You can do all those post checks as part of the post patch activities. So you can see resolve dot, this time offset, resolve dot, resolve integrity, and NTP. These all are related to my lab specific, and then I can ignore all straight away. I can ignore all this. So when it comes to the real time customer environment, so please take care of all these NTPs and resolve.config integrity, because this is where your all the scan VIPs will be resolved, and all those RPM packets. And also I'm straight away, I'll go ahead and ignore this, and I'll proceed further. So you can review this one, right? The option upgrade your grid infrastructure, and your base location and your grid 19c grid home and your groups and OS groups and all. And the root execution script is a manual. It means manually you are running the root upgrade script, and then upgrade your ASM true, and the management method is none. In 12c, MGMT database is mandatory. You have already seen MGMT database was part of my 12c grid. And now in 19c, that is not the management, that is not mandatory. Your Apex, which comes default with ASM, that will take care of your management repository. And the selected nodes, node 1 and node 2. So this is perfect. If you want, you can save your response file locally, and then if you not, you can leave it, because automatically you will get one response file. Submit, so it will start installation now. If you want, you can check here in the detail screen, but you won't get much detail information in this also. So one of the best thing is this one, this log file. You just keep observing this log file, you will see a lot of information, and you will be like, if you try to understand this one, if you're able to make out something out of this log file, and you will feel, in fact, you will feel better, you will feel good about yourself. Right, you can see, right, all these pre-checks it's doing here, and you can see what patch, all this, right? So yeah, okay, where is that? I'll go back. Okay, it is preparing now, loading the product list and a lot of things. And then if I go back, if you see, if you observe this one, right, grid set. Oh, what happened? Wait a second. If you see, right, I told automatically it will create a response file. This is a response file, user on app 19c grid install response file, and this is a date and time, and this is the RSP. This file, again, that is not mandatory whether you can save the response file or not. Automatically you will get that response file. If I go back here, sorry, you can see, right, all this. So Arun Kumar, during the grid upgrade, the cluster needs to be up or down. So of course your cluster should be up, otherwise your upgrade will fail. You can see all those. Parallelly, you can monitor this one. What happens? You can monitor this one here. You can see, right, preparing and linking library setup. Node 1 is done already. So it started copying it to the node 2. Copy files to the remote nodes. You can see copying files to the remote nodes. You can see on this details window also. If I go back here, you can see transferring data to node 1 from node 2. Copying data from this particular grid DOM to remote node, that is node 2. 10% completed. That's what, like, log file is, I'm very fond of log files. So whatever activity I'll do, I'm very like keen to know a log file, keen to tail the log file, and then try to understand what's happening at the log file. Any questions so far? So once you do these kind of activities, you will get to know, and then as I said, right, again, sorry, I'll show you that log file again, response file. So I told you this is a response file. It got created here. Once in case if you lose this particular GUI screen, what you need to do, you can come back to, you can connect back to the node, and you can run this grid setup.sh, and you just pass this response file, and it will start it from the point where it got failed. I'm talking about after the root upgrade.sh. If now it fails, you have to do the cleanup, and you have to redo all the tasks from the scratch. And once it asks for the root upgrade, then you run the root upgrade on both the nodes. And that time, if you lose this particular screen, no worries. As I said, like, come back to connect back to the node 1, and again run the grid setup.sh, and the response file, you can pass this response file, and it will do all the post checks. Okay, log file, what's happening? You can see, right? So it copied already, and it started with all the configuration stuff on the remote nodes. I'll go back here. You can see the remote copy is done, and configuring the remote node. See, remote configuring is done, and set up Oracle base. And now it will ask you to run the root upgrade.sh. So root upgrade.sh is the one very core, and that is where, you can see, as I told you, if it's the 8 node, it will ask you to run the root upgrade.sh, and you run on 4 node, and 5th node it fails. Either you have to go forward or you have to come back. Come back means you have to run the root downgrade.sh on all the nodes, and then you can bring up your 12c grid home. And if it fails on fifth node, you can fix the issue and then proceed further running root upgrade.sh on the remaining nodes. You can see, I'll close this one now because I will get one more window here in a few minutes, because see, now it's saving the cluster inventory, all your the central inventory, all the local inventory, everything it will save, and then now it will ask you to run the root upgrade.sh. So this is what it comes here, execute root script. Still it's saving inventory. Okay, so here you go, right? Run the root upgrade. You can see, right? Open the terminal window and log in as a root user. Run the script user on app 19c grid root upgrade.sh and node 1 and node 2. Again, there is no hard and fast rule. You can run it on any of the node. You can run it on any of the order, and you can do a parallel run also. For example, as I say, like 8 nodes, you can run it first node one time, and then second time run it on 2 and 3, and the fourth time run it 3 4 and 5, and the second run you can run it on 6 and 7, and then run it on 8th node alone. One of the best recommendation is always run first node first time and the last node a single time, and in between nodes you can run it parallelly. Again, one of the recommendation also, you can always try to run two node, not more than that. So what's going on? So somebody has done the annotation. I can clear it out. How can I clear that? Okay, done. Fine. So let's go back to the screen, and then I will run the root upgrade.sh. I'll go to node 1. So I'll just cancel this, or else I can take a remote session from node 2. I'll go back to node 1 and then run the root upgrade.sh, because I want, as I said, I want that run, the log is very, very important for me. Sorry, so somebody is using annotation, so you can clear it out. Let's clear one more time. Okay, so now I will run that U01 app. This is very, very important. This is where your grid home will switch from 12c to 19c. Grid and root upgrade.sh. Just enter it here on node 1. Just enter default and replace overwrite. Yep, you can see, right? You can closely observe this one, and the log file is still going on here. And this one also, right? So again, the moment it start the root upgrade, again it will launch one more log file. You can tell that log file. You can see, right? This log file is only for your root upgrade data. So I'm interested on this particular log file. I'll go back to this node 1 here. I'll cancel this one and I'll tail this particular log file. You can see, right? What all it do? It'll query all the CRS-ETL commands, and it'll make sure that your cluster is compatible to do the smooth upgradation or the smooth transition from 12c to 19c. You can see, right? You can make out of all this what is command OCR config and this OLR OCR, and you can see CRS CLS CFG local upgrade, and you can see your voting disk. You can see logical corruption, cluster integrity check, everything it will do, and all these commands, right? CRCTL sandbox check, and then you can see it will do 18 steps upgrade. You can see 1 of 18, one is upgrade TFA, 2 of 18, validate environment, and step 3 of 18, it's get your old configuration, and then whether cluster is ready for your upgradation, right? It will take few minutes. If you go back here, it will do all these checks. Okay, Ramender is asking, are the database under 12c grid home or running phase now? Yeah, of course, you no need to worry about your databases. All your database will be up and running fine, and only you are working on the grid home. And you will be facing the end customer or end user will be facing a single glitch of a few seconds when the transition happened from 12c to 19c. That is where your cluster will go down and it will come up. So only during that period of time, I can say 10 second or 15 second or max 1 minute. So only that is a downtime for the customer, and that too downtime only on the node one. So other node, other instance will be up and running. Your application, everything will be able to connect to other nodes, and everything is going to be running fine. Your grid upgrade is going to be always online activity. There is no offline or there is no downtime activity here in the grid. So all this you can see, right? It is doing backend all these things. If you go back here, you can see the 3 of 18 steps get configuration is done, and now you can see right now the fourth step, step 4, it get a site GUID, and step 5 it's upgrade pre-checks is doing here. And again go back here, all this command, all whatever you manually run, right, cluster configuration, health check, what you do, it will do the same thing. All the crctl config, and your query models, HASCTL query model, all this. So this is my personal recommendation. Always open your log file and you will see whether your grid upgrade is progressing or not. That is always one of the best recommendation I can provide. It is too much, as I said, right? So it's going to be one of the lengthiest process. So for we to make it 1 hour, definitely it's going to be more than that. Okay, now sixth step, set up OSD. Seventh phase, pre-upgrade, and you can see all this pre-upgrade. You can see stop management database, and then it is stopping my management database, SRHTL stop management database, and then see all these checks. You can see your clusterware is again going to be in rolling upgrade mode, right? Why rolling upgrade mode? As I explained, right? Your node 1 is going to become now 19c. Your node 2 is going to be still on 12c, and but at the cluster level, my cluster version is still is going to be on the 12c. When you do the second node upgrade, your clusterware version is become 19c. That is where rolling upgrade will comes into picture, rolling patch mode or rolling upgrade mode or whatever it is. All these checks. You can see now step 7, pre-upgrade setting up clusterware ASM in rolling upgrade mode. It is doing rolling upgrade mode. What the command it's running? crctl start rolling upgrade to 19c, and then successfully set to rolling upgrade mode. Now your clusterware is in rolling upgrade mode. And if you go back to your clusterware and check this particular command, where is that? Do you have that command? No, I don't have that handy, that command. So and then you can see after that it is doing ASMCS silent upgrade ASM, and then this is my old CRS home and this is new CRS home. So old CRS home, and then you can see start rolling false and first node true. First node true means you are running on the node 1 now, and when you're running on the last node, it is a last node equal to true. And ASM configuration upgraded on the local node successfully. Node 1 is down. Now starting shutdown of your current clusterware. So it is now starting shutdown. CRSCTL stop CRS-F, and node 1 will go down now from 12c, and then it will start with the 19c. So Ramen, there is one more question. Where we can see the cluster version and node 1 and node 2 version to check the difference at the moment. Okay, wait a minute. I'll give you that mm, SQL to check. I already said those commands. SQL to check um, cluster where rolling mode. Let's see. I will get something here. I'll go to Oracle doc only. Okay, yeah, this is a particular command. You can connect to your ASM and you'll see whether it is in rolling upgrade mode or not. First thing, I do have any particular session opened here. Okay, I have one more open. Okay, node 2 I have opened here. Okay, I'll connect to node 2. plus ASM2, and then where is my cluster home? This is my cluster home, node 2, SQL plus slash sys ASM, and then you can run this one. You can see in rolling upgrade mode. So this is what your rolling upgrade mode. And when if you do CRSETL CSS active version, you will see the old one. Like if you are seeing now here, where is that? You are seeing now you are upgrading it to the 19C here. If you see a CRSETL active version, it will be still at your. Let me run it on this node. Give me a second. I'll get that particular query. Active version. CSTL query CSS active version. If you run it on node 1 or node 2, you will see it is still pointing to your 12C. When the second node is upgraded, then it will display, it will set it to 19C, and your the cluster upgrade set is in rolling upgrade mode. And the active patch level is this patch is belongs to my 12C Jan PSU, and this is my clusterware active version, that is 12C, and clusterware upgrade mode, and this is the patch level. This patch is 12C Jan 2021, and when you patch both the node, it will become 19C and the 19C patch and all those. So now here what happens here, let's see. Now upgrade step 8, that is check CRS config is done. Step 9, your upgrade OLR is done. Step 10, config CMOS is done. And step 11, upgrade AFD and create OHSD, config OHSD, all done. Step number 14, install ACFS. So it is doing install ACFS. If you go back to the log and check here, ACFS install, SFS to root install. It is doing SFS install on 19C. So any question now? Any question so far? So good. Lot of things. Right. I hope Ramendra that answers your query. So even though you check it on node 1, connect to node 1 and run this particular query, CRCTL active version, it will see 12C only. And then once you connect to ASM, if you check, it will be it's supposed to be normal. Always think when you are working day-to-day activities, your clusterware should be in normal mode. If it's a rolling upgrade mode, something wrong with your any of the cluster node, you have to go and fix that particular cluster node. And rolling upgrade mode or rolling patch mode, you can see only during the upgradation or only during the patching process, and do only the patching or upgradation related to grid, and not worry about the database. You can patch one node and leave one node, you won't see any difference. But again, that's not recommended. You have to patch both the cluster nodes. Where are we now? Okay, it will take ACFS is killing, so that will take few minutes. Okay, done. That is done, I believe. Okay, now step number 15, install KA. You can see what it will do at the backend, all these commands. No, that's it. Like if it passes up to this, you will be very confident that, once you cluster where it'll shut down and it'll start with the 19C, that is where you can conclude that, most of the upgrade is going to be successful. And rest of the things, whatever it do, it is all like post checks. CRSTL start, CRS wait. It will start with the 19C upgrade, 19C binaries now. Any questions so far, guys? So as I told you in my yesterday's live, I'm gonna share out all the lab details. So if you guys are already started pinging me, all those setup, whatever I'm showing here, all those already the setup ready and then already uploaded to cloud. You just need to download it and unzip into your local laptop or local desktop, and then start using any of the cluster setup or any of the VL6, VL7 or VL8, and then these are like ready-made setup. You can make use of that. And the other thing is, again, the Google form has some glitch. We just fixed that one. So we are going to launch out that Google page. I'm going to ping that link in our Telegram group as well as in Facebook. So you can go ahead and register it who are like want to participate in the mock interview. So definitely those are like going to be real time experience, and then we'll give a lot of tips. All those my colleagues are from the different organization from Oracle, and few are from the Apple, and few are like from Walmart. Like they are like interacting with you, and then you can ask any questions or concerns during that discussion. It's going to be one to one, and then it's going to be as like a real time experience how you can face the interview and all. Okay, so now it's going on. Yep, step 16, upgrade cluster is successful, and you can see OCR specific configuration and all this, like all the OCR configurations are done. Step number 17, upgrade node, that is done. That is going on right now. Initiating upgrade resource type. I can see what all resource it's upgrading. You can see SRHTL upgrade model, and then doing that first. Right, so that again take few more seconds. Once the root upgrade is done on node 1, immediately we'll go to node 2, and then the root upgrade on the node 2, and then we'll come back to the we'll go back to the GUI screen, and then we'll click OK, and then that will take further. That will take few more seconds. Any questions so far? So far, so good. Yep, sounds good. So no questions. And setting up a resource type. Okay, let's give a few more minutes. Okay, so that's it. If I go back here, upgrade resource type successfully initiated, and then that is done. Final step, upgrade step number 18 of 18, post upgrades done. So if you see, it's all done. The grid upgrade, grid infrastructure cluster were upgrade done. Configure Oracle grid infrastructure cluster succeeded. And then you can see this is very important and also feels happy, right? Configure your Oracle grid infrastructure cluster succeeded. So quickly we can go back to node 2. I'll just exit. I'll be back to node 2, and then I'll run the same root upgrade.sh on node 2. I'm at node 2 now, so I'll run it and just enter, just replace. Yep, that's it. And again I will connect to, I'll just cancel it. I'll connect to node 2 here. So node 2 connected. Again, tail the log files. Crazy thing, right? Thank you for your patience. Yeah, of course, Azaz. Yeah, so it all comes from the experience. So if you start interacting more and more, and then even you will enjoy the sessions, or even you will enjoy giving and sharing the knowledge. That's what I know. I always recommend to everyone. Always try to interact with your seniors or your managers or management, and try to involve in the discussion. Okay, so you can see started retrieving the cluster information, like step 1 of 18 completed, upgrade TFA. Step 2 of 18, validate environment. Step 3, get old configuration. This second node will completes very soon, because all your cluster ware resource and TFA, everything is upgraded to 19C. Here in this node, just services has to go down, and it services has to start here. Okay, Vardhan is asking, after GI upgrade, my last node is unable to join the cluster. Then what daemon log file you need to check? Okay, yeah, again, you you check log, any log you can check. I'll tell you what a log you need to check. Any log you can check, and you try to fix a issue associated to that particular service. After that, again, you need to come back to node here on the last node, and again you need to run this root upgrade. Your root upgrade.sh, you have to see this particular error message. Sorry, if you have to see this particular message, then only your root upgrade is successful on that particular one. If you don't see, as long as if you don't see this particular message succeeded, that node is never upgraded. That node is, all the services are still back in old resource, and few of the major services are in old version only. So you need to come back and you need to run this particular root upgrade, and you need to see this message. Then only you can go and proceed further steps. I'll tell you what all services you need to check. Is as long as, like, as good as, like, your you are, like, you are checking all your clusterware troubleshooting issue, right? What all resources like CRSD, CTSSD, daemon, like, ASM, where it got stuck, which the services are not coming up, you have to deal with that one. So until unless if you don't see this message, this node is not upgraded. This node will be in still old version. Again, see log file. You can see first node, and first rolling, start rolling, old version, upgrade step number 7 of 18. No, I told, right, like, you no need to, which daemon we need to check in a sequence manner. Sequence. Okay, again, like, Vardhan, like, I will take one startup clusterware startup sequence I already covered, and I will take a clusterware startup sequence troubleshooting. Definitely, I will take, probably next week. I'm gonna take this. This is interesting. Most of people are asking. What I'll do, I will start one service at a time. I will start OHSD and what all files and what all service you need to check it out. After that, what all service it will start, I will start it manually. I'll take a troubleshooting what all file you need to check it out. Definitely, I'll take one session, by probably we'll get it in next week. So that if you understand that clusterware startup sequence troubleshooting, and then definitely any issue during your grid upgradation, you will be able to fix that one, because this grid upgrade is nothing but your clusterware startup sequence. It will do only the resource upgradation, but at the back end it will do shutdown and startup. It will go for multiple times shutdown and startup. You can see node list, util, CLU util, and install local node on node 2, and node list is 1 and 2. It's doing now, it's upgrading here. ASM configuration upgraded on local node and starting shutdown, and shutdown of Oracle Grid Infrastructure is successful. You can see this is where when you do a shutdown, all your database instance will go down here. But again, one of the best recommendation is, you have to manually shut down your all the database instances on node 1, and then do a grid upgrade, because sometimes, uh, auto start of your ASM instance, auto start of your database instances may cause some issues. But if you have a downtime, that is a node wise downtime, right? So you can shut down instances on node 1, and you can do disable the auto start, and you can do a grid upgrade on node 1. Yeah, you can see this is pretty fast, right? Like step 8 is completed, step 9 upgrade OLR, step 10 config CMOS, HMOS, step 11 upgrade AFD, step 12 create OHSD, step 13 config OHSD. And this is a main thing, like replacing your clusterware OHSD services. That you can see this one, and it will start with the 19C clusterware now. Any questions so far, guys? So far so good. Almost 1.5 hour completed. Hope another few moments it will be done. Okay, step 14, install ACFS. Meantime, what we can do, yeah, let it go because another few moments it will be done. And I'll walk through this particular MOS document. This is precisely talks about Exadata, but we can make use of that. Um, okay, so before that, I will go through this particular blog, which is like my blog, as who has suggested. Definitely, because okay, definitely I'm gonna continue with this one. See, this was the old, I think June 2020. So after that, I have not updated anything. So, but if you go to the very old, do I see that old one? Okay, yeah. If you see this one, this particular 2015 one, did I mention there are a lot of MOS documents which are really very good. So you can always where is that? All the upgrade related document, everything I just uh, I mentioned most of them. Like okay, here it is. This is completely talks about a lot of MOS documents. So you can start with Exadata and then master note on Exadata and what are the best practices which all you can refer it out, and then what are the operational tasks like day to day, like issues and related to cell storage server, what all MOS document you can refer, and patching exercise, what all MOS document you can refer, and software releases and all, like how you can check it out, and DB nodes, cell nodes, and especially for the patching and upgrades, you can see right how many MOS documents here. So you can, like, whenever you get a time, you can just go through all of these MOS documents. It has a lot of things. You can definitely get something out of that. Let's see where are we now. Step 15, install KE. Step 16, upgrade cluster. Yeah, almost. We'll also upgrade database or need to do it separately. Definitely, Azad's like, this not today. It's going to be, we'll see, like, definitely database upgrade. What we do, what I'm planning, we'll take it as a auto upgrade. So one of the 19C new feature, right? So definitely, I will show you something. You brought me like 19C new features, so I have something here in my mind. Just I was preparing for that. Let me see whether I can get it now here. That is my next session. So definitely I started that one, preparing some slides on the alt. Where is that? Here it is. Let me see if I can bring it here. Okay, not this one. Where is that? Okay, yeah, this is what the new topic, what I what everyone are interested. So 12C and 19C new features. So I just given most of those documents here. So and then these are the like very interesting features. I wanted to cover it in one shot. What are 12C features, major changes, and what are 19C automatic indexing and automatic gather stats and DML replication, dry run, and auto upgrade and all those. So and for that, interestingly, like I have made all the run books, and also definitely this is going to be one of the interesting live session. So we will implement all these activities, all this new feature, whatever I'm talking about, right? I will explain it what exactly and how you can, for example, if you talk about full database catching, and then how to check it at database level, full forceful DB catching, and then you need to shut down your database at the mount mode. Like I was just preparing this particular. I was preparing for this one, and then definitely in our next session, this is going to be our next topic. That's what like I wanted to announce now itself. So 12C and 19C new features. So this is going to be our uh, next topic. So if you see, right, like already made a run book for all these features. And what I'm interested here, this one, Arment table level recovery. How you can do Arment table level recovery? So nobody knows, like if you lose your production table, how you can get it. If you have a backup, how you can restore your table from the backup. It is a 12C very brilliant feature. You can just extract a table out of your backup. So these are like exciting features that I'm going to cover it in our next topic. Okay, where are we? I can talk more if you can leave me. Let's stop it here. Okay. So yeah, seventh step is completed. Again, interesting message. Configure your Oracle grid and structure for cluster. It succeeded. If you do ps-ef grep smon, you can see 19c clusterware. Again, what command we ran? Where is that command? Okay, yeah, this one. css query active version. Oh, it is not yet set. Let me set my environment plus ASM2, and it's going to be 19C. You can see Oracle cluster where active version is this much, 19C, and you can see, right? This is interesting. Upgrade final. We have seen rolling upgrade mode. We have seen normal. And what is this upgrade final? Because we have to do some post checks. We have to go back to the run installer screen and we have to finish those all post checks, right? And the patch level is, you can see this patch. This is our 19C, Jan patch release. So I'll go back to our UI. Where is our UI? Is here. I'll connect back. Right. I will click OK here, and then it will start my post install script. So that again, I'll go back. Interesting logs. I'll exit this one. Not this one. Grid setup. Okay, this one. Before calling host 1, 2, these are the no list upgrade local node true. Go back here. Now it will update the inventory. Now you can see, even though if you lose your GUI screen and something happened here, you can your session is terminated here. Don't worry, your cluster where everything is upgraded and everything is up and running. So it is doing only post checks and some of the post configuration. So that all you can do it manually. As I said, like this is a response file. This is a response file. I already explained you. So you can come back to, you can connect back to your screen and run the grid setup.sh and pass this particular response file. It will start it at this point where it got failed. It will start it at this point. Your major step is running the root upgrade.sh. If you complete that root upgrade.sh on both the nodes, that is where your job is almost completed. And rest of the like 90% job is completed. Rest of the things are like all this management database creation and all. You can manually also you can do it. You can come back and you can run the same command. You can run the same command. It will create a management database. You can see copying data file. It is doing this management database upgrade. Again, management database is not mandatory with starting with 19C. Copying database files. Meantime, we can go back to our ASM and then also we can check a few of the things. Or else I can connect here. SQL plus slash sys ASM. And then if I run this particular same command, now you can see, right? Your clusterware upgrade state is normal. This is very, very important. When you finish your clusterware upgrade, your cluster health state should be normal. I'm doing skipping create and starting the instances because it says skipping creating and starting the instances. So your management database is already ready. So doing some post checks here, creating and starting Oracle instance. Go back. 45% completed. What I was doing, I will set my environment plus ASM2 19C grid. What I'll do ASMCMD hyphen P hyphen P and then LSDG this is only one external mount point, external redundancy, that is data mount point. I don't have any database here. ls-l. You can see this is my ASM and this is my management database. So if I go inside ASM, I will be having the password file, and inside that, if I go, this is my ASM password file. One is the backup and one is the current password file. If I go back now, ls-l, okay, one more step, ls-l. So as I said, this is my ASM and this is my management database, right? So starting with 12c management database. If I go inside management database control file, this control file related to that management database, you can see control file. And if I come back, and then I have data file related to that particular management database. You can see syssoc, system undo. These are the data file belongs to that management data file, management database. And if I go to online read logs, okay, online log ls-l, and these are like these management database log files. And if I go back now, password, and this password file is belongs to my management database. If I go back, if I go back all the way, and then this is the password file and this is a backup file for my ASM. So if you see, these are like soft link. This is the password file and backup password file. And again, this password file is soft link to my password file present under ASM. You can see data ASM. So whatever we seen inside ASM, those are the same password file or like soft link here. And this is the backup password file. Again, that is also belongs to data ASM. And this is about inside ASM, how you can check it out. No, it's 49% completed. Again, it will take time. Yeah, management database will take some time, so let it go. So we're almost done. So any questions so far? Like we almost spent almost 1 hour 40 minutes, 1 hour 42 minutes. So any questions? So it's going to complete very soon. I probably in another 5 minutes max. 10 minutes. Still it has 49. So what else? Meantime, like I will go through this one, what I did before the Windows 19C upgrade, right? So yeah, 12C, I have installed my 12C setup. I did it today only. So again, there is a detailed explanation in my YouTube channel regarding grid setup and all. So you can always go back and refer it over there. How you can set up your forward zone and reverse zone, and how you can create users and directories, and how you can install your all the RPMs, and then how you can add your groups and how you can create users and all. And then all those, like I did the setup today morning, and then I did all this patching. So for the patching, again I covered detailed step. Stop your clusterware and run the pre-patch command, and change the ownership for the patching, and run the latest patch. Verify your current patches and check your conflict check, space check, and apply the patch. So if I go back here, these are the apply command I used. All those like 12C I'm talking about. When it failed with this particular patch, right? When it failed with this particular patch, it needs to apply, because my 12C binary was empty base location. And then I applied this like conflict check, system space check, and it's the patch apply. And these are the patchings. Yeah, that access to the lab, definitely, as I said, right? It's a one-to-one cloud mapping. You cannot get those. What I did is I installed all the configuration, and I already zipped everything, all the setup, and I placed it in the Google Cloud. I can share the link. You can download it locally on your laptop, and then you can just unzip it, and you can just and just make use of that. No, removing Ramender, removing Tulsi, that answers your question, right, Surender? You just need to unzip, and then you can use your any of Oracle VirtualBox 5 or 6, and then you can start using that. Okay, so are we removing 12c grid software? Yeah, you can deinstall. Deinstall again, it will comes along with the your database software. I'll just go here. U01 app, user and app, 12c grid. This is your 12c grid home. There's a deinstall comes default along with your this one, and you can run this particular deinstall. This one slash deinstall, just run it. It will do a deinstall. So what you brought that interesting question. What I'll do, deinstall. Okay, where is that? Deinstall. Okay, here it is. Okay. Interestingly, today morning, I did a deinstall for one of my 19C. If you see here, right, 19C. When you install your 19C on OEL8, there's a bug in that. When you do the deinstall, it will fail. It will fail with some weird error message. For that, if you have to follow, it will fail with like error equal to null, and you don't see any error message. For that, you need to follow this particular MOS document where you need to export, and you need to pass OEL equal to 7. Even though you are running OEL8, you need to bifurcate. You have to mention you are running at a OEL7, and then you need to run the deinstall. I ran the 19C home deinstall, and then it asked me to it listed out what are like grid home and my base inventory and all those, and then these are the nodes, and then I proceeded further, and then it started with the deinstallation, and then you can see, right, data and Oracle disks and all will be dropped, and then you see, right, it asked for the deconfig summary, and then it deconfigured all my listeners, all my everything, it has deconfigured here, and then after that end of the session, it will ask you to run this particular deconfiguration, root crs force deconfig parameter, and you need to pass that parameter file, and it will ask you to run this one on node 2. Once you run on node 2 and run this particular command on node 1, once you run that too, and then come back here and just enter, it clearly mentioned, right, the deconfiguration on the below parallelly, run on parallelly or execute one by one on the nodes, and execute them and come back here, and then just give enter. All's completed, just give enter here. The moment you enter, it will complete your deconfiguration. So that's pretty straightforward. Deconfigure single command. You can make use of that. So that concludes your deconfiguration. So 12C also you have to do the same thing. Okay, where are we now? So 58. Oh my God, it's taking a lot of time. What are the post checks we can do? Verify all the services which are running on the 12C grid home or switch to 19C. By default, it will everything, all the core services will be switched. You can do your normal regular check, ps-ef grep. S1 is the one you can see all the services. And d.bin is the very interesting. So you can do the d.bin. These are like core demands and services. If you see anything here 12C, and then you have to look into that, why it is not migrated or why it is not upgraded. You can see right now everything, all the OHSD, everything is migrated to 19C. Grid, bin, CRSCTL, stat, resource hyphen T. You can make sure that all your services, whatever supposed to come online, it's supposed to be online after that, and then you can reconfigure your 12C. Right, so your scan, node VIPs, all those. And then as I say, like d.bin is one will make sure that all your services are running from 19C. Where are we now? Too much time. Skipping line. Okay, completing database creation. Okay, almost done. So management database is always right. That was time consuming. Management database and ACFS drivers. Once those are done, you are almost done. Completing database creation. Finally, your management database is ready with the 19c. So if I can go back here, and again, interestingly, your management database will run on any one of the node. It will not run on all the cluster node. If you see it on the node 2, it is not running. If I go to node 1, if I go to node 1 and do ps-ef grep smon, you can see your management database is running from your node 1. Right, pmon and smon, I think it's fine. Okay. It will take few more minutes. Almost it took 1 hour 50 minutes today's session. Really long session. Again, when it comes to the when you are estimating the timeline for your upgradation, whether it's a rolling or non-rolling, doesn't matter. Like, it's going to be the estimation for the rolling patching event, because you cannot do if it's a 2-node rack, you have to run the root upgrade.sh on both nodes the individually. You cannot run parallelly, right? So doesn't matter that's the rolling or non-rolling, but the timeline is going to be remain same. If it comes to the 4-node, again, doesn't matter. You are running node 2 and node 3 parallelly. Again, node 1 and node 4, you are running individually. So again, there also doesn't make much difference. Is there, if there are 10 database running in 12c grid, what are the important things we need to take care? Hope all the database will switch to 19c, but only changes anything to database not to, okay, database definitely, like you no need to take care of anything. You no need to worry about your database anything. And once your clusterware is upgraded, your all database should start with the 19c clusterware. So you are not going to set any parameter related to database level and all. So all database will automatically should start from your clusterware. The only worry you have to be careful, your all the cluster services should up and running on that node. When the 19c cluster is upgraded on node 1 or node 2, you make sure that all the services, all your VIPs, scan listeners, scan IPs and node IPs, and all the GPNP profile, all those, like all those services should be up and running. If you make sure that all those services are up and running, -init, you can try it out, crctl stat resource -t -init. That is the one you can make sure that all your core services are up and running, like ASM up and running, your cluster interconnects up and running, CRF, CRSD, CSSD, CSSD monitor, and CTSSD. You can leave it. That's a time synchronization service. NTP and all, anyone you can use it. And Diskmon you can leave it. And SFS driver, EVMD, and GIPCD, GPNPD, and MDNSD, and the storage. So if these all services are online, and then you no need to worry about at all at your database side, because all database supposed to start automatically without any issue. So yeah, you need to check about only the cluster services. 66% completed. Oh my God. So I never thought it will take this much time. Again, this is all because of my lab size and lab resource. Okay, finally, so our management database is ready, and then starting with the grid infrastructure management repository configuration assistant. So that is what it will do all the the post related steps related to my SMCA. And then it will do the RHP server. Like RHP server, like is one of the brilliant feature. Again, it will be part of my whatever like new series, right? Here it is, rapid home provisioning. So rapid home provisioning, what it talks about, right? When you are dealing with hundreds of databases and hundreds of servers and hundreds of clusters, like when you are dealing with data warehouse environment, rapid home provisioning is one of the very brilliant tool. You can make use of that. You can create your gold images or gold Oracle home and gold clusterware and gold setup. You can do it on the gold setup. Once ready, you can just clone that gold setup to wherever you want. Your grid setup will be ready, your database home will be ready, and you can upgrade and you can downgrade and you can use it just like a template. You can just download it on any of the server and your clusterware is ready. You can configure your grid infrastructure or gold image using this rapid home provisioning, and you can apply any particular latest patch and all, and your template will be ready. That template you can plug in and you can install it on the any of the server. Your 12c the clusterware setup is ready. So that's a brilliant feature of rapid home provisioning. So this is a detailed Oracle Moss note. It has I'm going to cover one step when I take this new feature, that I will cover it. So that's what, it will start with a RHP repository. So RHP server, that's what when you see here, right, RHP server. Right now it is offline. It will upgrade it to 19C. So definitely that is going to be one of the future focus for most of the industries. RHP server, making use of RHP server and provisioning the rapid homes and all. So that I will take one more session. Okay, one more question from Ramendra. As you mentioned before, management database is not required in 19C. It's only needed in 12C. Why taking care of? Right. That's all your previous configuration. So if your previous configuration, like 12C, have that management database, and it will automatically upgrade it to 19C. Again, Oracle, it is not a hard and fast tool. You can control your management repository. You might have noticed when I launched that run installer. I think when I upload this video, you can go back. When I launched the grid setup, there's a one particular section where it will ask for your management repository. So if you select that management repository, again that will install it here. If you don't select, that will not install here. But again, there is not requirement here in the 19C. Your now Flux ASM will take care of everything. But if you have it, no worry at all. Flux ASM, and Flux ASM is like integrated with your clusterware management and management repository together. It will be one-time setup. It will one single point of contact. It will take care of all the management related repos and your clusterware resources. If you have your management database will be dedicated for your keeping all the repositories, all the past history and stacks. So no point, like if you have it or doesn't have it, doesn't matter, but it left to you. But where you by default, if your 12C home has that, automatically that will try to migrate it to 19C. But you can delete it whenever you don't need it. You can delete it. I think we are done. Okay, this is a known meshes. This is a known meshes. So your cluster where the, the the verify utility will fail because it's a lab environment. So in lab we'll not be having VIPs, scan IPs, and public IPs separately. So we are just making our own DNS entry. So this is ignorable in lab. So I just click OK, and then I'll just close my screen. I'll just close it here. So that's it for the today's session. Very long session. So Ramendra, as I said, the management database is very important when it comes to the 12C, and when it comes to the 19C, that is not that important. You can delete it if you need it. Okay, so any questions? So we can almost 2 hours session, which is very lengthy session. Any last few questions? So you can ask here, or else we can conclude the today's session. Yeah, Ramendra, if it's not mandatory, means you need to check it out. That's a new feature. If you have it, that will help us for pulling the repositories and all the previous stats. So if not, no worries. But 12c it is recommended to have it. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your all time here. Bye bye.